Tim Reese and Reagan Smith back on the campus of Volunteer State Community College for the second game of day 3. This is game number 10 on your bracket. Southwest Tennessee will host Roane State in an elimination game. The winner will take on Volunteer State 2 games from now. See the umpires and the head coaches meeting at home plate. Thanks for joining us on the VolState Sports Network. Let's get right to the Toyota of Gallatin starting lineups as we are moments away. The Roane State Raiders, 9th seed, have, see how many games they've won. They defeated Cleveland State, lost to Walter State, and then defeated Columbia State. So they're 2-1 in the conference tournament. Joshua Sanchez Harris will lead off playing shortstop. Sam Abshire at second base batting second. Evan Cage in left field batting third. Ty Martin in center field hitting cleanup. Detweiler, the first baseman, batting fifth. Cannon Lewis, the DH. He'll hit sixth. Parker Henderson at third base batting seventh. Tanner Park in right field. He'll hit eighth. Lane Spry behind the plate batting ninth. And Ben Scott on the mound for the Cam Hamsley-led Raiders. And Ben Scott will face the Salukis lineup. Goes like this. Tui Cope at second base leading off. Batting second, playing left field, Anthony Zarlingo. And Conference Player of the Year, Tyler Harrington at third base. He'll bat third. Brady Holloway at first, hitting cleanup. Bryce Turner, the DH. He will bat fifth. Right fielder R.H. Franklin hitting sixth. B.J. Banyan, his next-door neighbor, out in center field, batting seventh. Blake Rowe gets his first action of the tournament. He'll be batting eighth and playing shortstop. Evan Ash behind the plate, batting ninth. Hayden Collins on the mound for the Salukis, who come in with a record of 42-15 as the number 3 seed. They defeated the Pioneers of Volunteer State 11-8 and then lost to Chattanooga State last night on a walk-off grand slam home run, and find themselves now down in the losers bracket as the Salukis take the field. Expecting some precipitation here this afternoon, so not sure how long we'll have for this particular ball game. We have, let me just take a quick break here. We have a question in the press box. I'll be right back. We are set to go here. First pitch from Collins swung on and driven out to right center field. B.J. Banyan back, and he'll make the catch at 3:20 Central. We are just getting started here in the top of the first inning. Had a visitor here that had a question that I wasn't sure what was going on. Sam Abshire will step in. He swings at the first pitch from Collins, fouls that off, stays just inside the field of play in foul territory. Hayden Collins working quickly. There's a breaking pitch in there for a called strike. No balls and 2 strikes to the sophomore from White House, Tennessee. Collins delivering his third pitch, swung on and fouled back. Looks like Hayden Collins has dinner reservations later on tonight And an early reservation. He's getting the ball and firing. 0-2 pitch. Sam Abshire wants to stay in the box a little bit longer. Game time temperature 72 degrees and cloudy. Swing and a miss. Actually, a little foul tip into the glove. Sounded like without my field mic up. 2 outs quickly here in the top of the first inning.
Next to bat for the Raiders, number 12.
Evan Cage stepping to the plate, swinging it from the left side. Can't even look down at my scorebook without 3 pitches being thrown. Misses with that first pitch to the left fielder. Evan Cage from CAK in Knoxville, Christian Academy of Knoxville. 5'11", 175-pound freshman. Hitting into 3-hole and fouls that one off to the left side. Got a 9-game hitting streak. That's his longest of the year. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Hayden Collins for his 14th appearance. This is his first start of the year. 18 innings pitched, 14 hits given up. 6 runs they were earned, walked 3, struck out 18, so 1 per inning. Opponents hitting .212, a 3.0 ERA as he faces Evan Cage with 2 outs and nobody on, and he strikes out the final 2 of the inning. 1-2-3 inning for Hayden Collins. Just getting started here at TCCAA Conference Tournament on the VolState Sports Network. Tui Coop will lead off the bottom of the first for the Southwest Tennessee Salukis.
Leading off the bottom of the first for Southwest.
A year ago, they were the number 10 seed in this tournament, defeated the Pioneers in a play-in game, and lost to number 1 seed Walter State, moved them into the losers bracket where they promptly lost to Motlow State. So 1-2 in the conference tournament a year ago, and they have turned their season around. First pitch from Ben Scott to Tui Cope, misses away. Roane State, or Southwest Tennessee, comes in 42-15, the number 3 seed. Dewey Cope fouls one off to the left side. That will get out of play. That one bounces off the concrete. Probably has a scar on that one. Ben Scott delivers the 1-1. Misses outside. Scott comes in with a 6.45 ERA, 2-7 record, 14 appearances. This is 15 on the year, 12th start for Ben Scott. He has one complete game. Ball, one strike to the leadoff batter. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 51 plus innings. He's given up 63 hits, 50 runs, 37 earned, walked 25, struck out 46. Opponent's hitting .297 off the right-hander and swing and a miss. Dewey Cope says that's a foul ball, and home plate umpire Todd Mullins agrees. Todd Mullins was at first base in game 1. Ken Garner swaps places with him as he is down at first base. Tim Taylor at third again. Ground ball weakly hit to first base. Detweiler catches it before it goes foul and will do a little 2-step back toward the bag and step on first for out number 1. That ball was headed for foul territory.
Now batting for Southwest.
So Detweiler had to get to it quickly. And Anthony Zarlingo, the switch hitting left fielder, steps in. Ben Scott, 6'2", 235 pounds, delivers a breaking pitch on the outside corner. Attended Powell High School in East Tennessee. Powell, Tennessee, just outside of Knoxville. Swinging a fly ball out the left field, shallow, as Evan Cage comes in and makes the catch for out number 2. Just getting started here in tournament game number 10, second game of today.
Next to bat for Southwest.
Had an hour and 35-minute rain delay in the Dyersburg State Volunteer State matchup. As we got started today, Pioneers defeated the Eagles 9-6. A very exciting ball game. As the Conference Player of the Year, Tyler Harrington, steps in. Had an amazing year. Now hitting .439, playing in game number 58 of the year, which is every game that Southwest has played. Pops that one up into shallow center field. On comes Ty Martin. He is getting it and makes the catch. Round number 3. 3 up, 3 down, just like Hayden Collins in the first inning. We're going to the second. No score on the Volunteer State Sports Network. Ty Martin will lead off for Roane State in the top of the second inning. Center fielder sees a pitch, couple balls into the right-handed batter's box for called strike. That one misses. Might have missed a few emails or texts. There's a ground ball to the left of Tui Cope, and he gloves it. Throw on to Brady Holloway for the first out of the second inning. Did not have a downpour, I wouldn't say, earlier this morning, but steady rain on and off a couple times, that enough that all-world athletic trainer Justin McKinney, who's also the weatherman for the tournament, said, let's put the tarp on. It was a good call as Detweiler steps in on the left side, and he sees a breaking pitch for a called strike. Hayden Collins delivering again. Fastball misses high and away. Thanks to our engineer, A.J. Fawson, for his help in getting us up and on the broadcast, both here at the Tim Garrett Baseball Complex and across campus at the Nichols Softball Complex. Two tournaments going on at the same time in the Tennessee Community College Athletic Association, Region 7. 10 teams here in Tennessee. Detweiler lifts one out to left center field. Nobody's going to get that one. That will one hop to the Game Time Sports Field sign out right in front of the Toyota of Gallatin scoreboard. Game Time Sports Field, GTSF. And line to line, two companies that are involved with the ground maintenance, as Hayden Collins asks his catcher, Evan Ash, to come out, probably to go over what sign we're going to go with, as now have a runner at second base. That's the first runner of the ball game for either team. Detweiler reached out and went opposite way. First pitch swinging, Cannon Lewis fouls one into the stands, and a spectator got up and out of the way and looked like it's a good thing. I think it landed right where her feet were. I don't think we can give her an error. She doesn't have a glove on her hand, so can't expect too much. Lewis, a local product, Beach High School, and he tomahawks that one to keep it off of his face. He just killed a limb in the pine tree on the other side of the fence. There's enough on there and nobody else will notice. Lewis coming in, hitting .212. Grounds one through the left side. Detweiler had to hold up as that throw airmails the cutoff man, but Lewis not able to move up. And Detweiler now at third base. 2 hits in a row for Roane State. Puts runners at the corners, line to line, runners at the corners. Brings Parker Henderson to the plate. 6'2", 205-pound sophomore from Lexington, Kentucky, attended Henry Clay High School. Fastball just a hair inside with one out. Middle infielders Blake Rowe and Tui Cope playing at double play depth. Rowe over to first base and Lewis back. Lewis, one stolen base in one attempt. That ball's lifted out to right field. Should be deep enough to score a run. R.H. Franklin makes the catch, and the throw comes into Tui Cope, and he'll throw to the plate. Detweiler, good thing he didn't slow up. Went ahead and went across standing, and an RBI on the sac fly by Parker Henderson. It's the Framework Athletics first run of the game. Thanks to Framework Athletics and their support of Volunteer State Athletics. 2 outs. First pitch swinging Tanner Park. Another local product right here in Gallatin High School. He and Ty Martin, center fielder, played together at Gallatin High School here in Sumner County. And breaking pitch by Hayden Collins misses down low. Tanner Park started yesterday's game at right field, ended up coming on as the relief pitcher. Drills that one high and deep to left field. Back goes Zarlingo to the fence, and he will leap, but he will not be able to bring that one back in. Tanner Park has just left the yard. And he's got some fans off to the right of the remodeled press box that are pretty happy about that. A 2-out, 2-run home run for Tanner Park. That is Tanner Park's 4th long ball of the year, and
Number 6.
RBI's 18 and 19. Gives Roane State the early 3-0 lead here in the second inning, and number 9 hitter Lane Spry steps in. Hard shot to short. Rowe bobbles, but picks it up and throws Lane Spry out for the 3rd out. But 3 runs on 3 hits. The big fly by Tanner Park puts the Raiders up 3-0. You're watching the VolState Sports Network. Brady Holloway, Bryce Turner, R.H. Franklin scheduled to appear for Southwest Tennessee.
Holloway.
Original game time was set for 1 o'clock. But the rains came in this morning as that ball is lifted out of play down the third base line. Did not hit the spectator walking down the road. She won't even attempt to go after that baseball. She walks down. Got started at 3:20 p.m., about 2 hours and 20 minutes late. Another swing of a foul ball. Heads up on the road. Couple guys walking in. Female walking a little bit faster, trying to get out of range. No balls, 2 strikes to the first baseman. Brady Holloway. The game against Chattanooga was 1 for 1, walked twice. And against VolState, 3 for 4, scored 2 runs. 2 singles, 2 RBIs. Count now 2 balls and 2 strikes from Ben Scott in his second inning of work. Foul ball MGM Industries foul ball. Big remodel of our press box prior to the beginning of this season. New custom windows from MGM Industries. Drive out to right field. That's high, not deep enough. Tanner Park will come in and make the catch. The owner of the 2-run home run in the top of the second inning retires Brady Holloway. Now a fly ball to each of the 3 outfielders. They are Evan Cage, Ty Martin, Tanner Park, left to right. Parker Henderson fielding at third base. Joshua Sanchez Harris at short. Sam Abshire at second. Det Detweiler at first. And Lane Spry trying to frame that breaking pitch from Ben Scott. Bryce Turner, the all-conference DH second team, steps in there and looks at a breaking pitch for a called strike. Turner 0 for 2 against Chat State. 1 for 4 against the Pioneers with an RBI. Slices one into right field, and then that will be the first base runner. Looked like that thing checked up like it was a golf shot. Tanner Park expecting it to squirt to the right, and it kicks left. First base runner for the Salukis.
Next to bat for Southwest, number 22.
Brings to the plate R.H. Franklin, right fielder. R.H. 6'1", 205 pounds, sophomore from Germantown, Tennessee. Attended Houston High School. Swings it from the right or left side. Fastball just misses. Thanks for joining us today on the VolState Sports Network, your home for every game of the TCCAA conference tournaments, both baseball and softball. Swing and a miss on a nice breaker that dropped off the table when it got to the plate. Southwest Tennessee hitting at a 340 clip as a team. R.H. Franklin at 288. He's got 7 home runs and 29 RBIs. That pitch misses away. R.H. 2 for 8 in the tournament. Had a home run against Volunteer State in their 11-8 win. 3 RBIs, 2 for 5 in that game. Pops that one up into shallow left field. Back goes Sanchez Harris, continuing back, and he'll make the over-the-shoulder running catch for out number 2. Well, a runner at first base, and B.J. Banyan steps in, one of the several transfers from University of Memphis, a former Tiger. He and Tyler Harrington.
BJ.
Swings at the first pitch, flies one out to right field. Tanner Park, a long run, and he will make the catch in fair territory for out number 3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. We are through 2, and Roane State leads 3-0. You're watching the VolState Sports Network. Tim Reese, Reagan Smith, DJ Qualls, our public address announcer, as well as music player, DJ, and Toyota of Gallatin scoreboard operator here in the press box. We move to the top of the third inning. Answer the question for Lonnie Glenn. The answer is yes, the winner of this game is scheduled to play the fourth game of the day. But that will be weather permitting, as we are planning on precipitation rolling into the Sumner County, Middle Tennessee area. 1 ball, 1 strike to the leadoff batter, Joshua Sanchez Harris. Hayden Collins back out on the mound. Got a 1-2-3 first inning, but ran into trouble when Detweiler and Cannon Lewis came to the plate. There's a line drive right back where it came from. Hayden Collins is upset at Evan Ash about something. He has a chat with the Canadian catcher. I don't know if he's upset at Evan Ash or whoever may be calling the pitches. I don't know, but it's a line drive off the bat of Joshua Sanchez Harris right up the middle, right by his face. There's a foul ball. That will be a dead ball that hit Sam Abshire as he attempted to move the runner along. He'll come back and get another chance with an 0-1 count. Sanchez Harris with a base hit. Standing at first base, throw over to first, not in time. The throw and a swipe tag by Brady Holloway, and Sanchez Harris up, and he's leading off. Maybe leaving a little bit farther now. Does not throw over, and a delayed steal. Joshua Sanchez Harris is going to be toast in a swing and a miss by Sam Abshire. So a caught stealing by Evan Ash. Not sure if that was delayed steal on purpose or not, but Tui Cope received that throw from Evan Ash that was right on the dime. Now 1 out, 1 ball, now 2 balls, 2 strikes to number 2 batter in the lineup, Sam Abshire, who struck out swinging in the first. From White House, Tennessee, a transfer from Cumberland University, and he's going to go down looking. That big breaker from Hayden Collins struck out Abshire and Evan Cage to end the first, and that's the first strikeout since. Now 2 outs and nobody on. Evan Cage steps in. Cage with a 9-game hitting streak on the line. Swing and a miss. Don't know that he got a piece of that. That is the second longest hitting streak of the year for Roane State. The longest belongs to first baseman Detweiler. His real name is George Detweiler. But they call him Det. Out of Clarksville, Tennessee, Mr. Detweiler is. Several players out of Rossview High School and Northwest High School in Clarksville, Tennessee. 2-2 pitch. Misses in the dirt. Blocked nicely by Evan Cage, who caught in yesterday's game. Copeland Bradford was behind the plate in game 1 for Southwest Tennessee versus VolState. We have a full count Ministries, full count to Evan Cage with 2 out and nobody on. Breaking pitch misses down low, and Evan Cage will reach with 2 outs. First walk of the game by Hayden Collins. Hayden Collins from Lexington, Kentucky, 6'3", 175-pound
Raiders, number 1,
freshman.
Ty Martin.
Attended Lexington Christian. Ty Martin steps in. Swing and a foul ball. That catches a piece of home plate umpire Todd Mullins. He's a veteran. Not the first time he's been harmed by a foul ball. That's why they give you a chest protector. AJ Fawcett on the chat. There's our lead engineer, audio engineer, head AV broadcast man. He's the guy that makes sure that we are up and running on our broadcast. Ground ball, that will sneak into right field for a base hit by Ty Martin. Cage will drop the anchor at second base. 2 out rally for the Roane State Raiders. Ty Martin now 1 for 2. Comes in hitting .225. He's played in
Next at bat for the Raiders.
56 now of the 57 games for Roane State. Not sure how many he played last year for Roane, but he played in a bunch. That ball gets by Evan Cage. You're going to throw down to second base. They've got a runner in between the base pass now. Now they got Evan Cage hung up. Hayden Collins will ultimately make the tag, as Ty Martin, I think, would have made it down to second base, but he stopped for some reason, as that was a pass ball by Evan Cage. Not Evan Cage, but got it turned the wrong way. Evan Ash. But ended up getting the out at third base. So no runs scored. It's still 3-0 Roane State. Blake Rowe, Evan Ash, and Tui Cope are scheduled to appear for the Salukis here in the bottom of the third inning. And had Evan Ash and Evan Cage involved in a play, as Blake Rowe fouls that one off. Evan Ash, the catcher. And a ball pop out of his mitt and go behind him on the play, and both runners moved up. Drive out to center field. Ty Martin should handle that one for out number 1, and he does. Evan Ash now steps to the plate. We had runners at first and second to replay that. I guess the Evan Cage was down at second base. He did get to third base on the pass ball, so there was a pass ball. But Ty Martin was a delay in getting down to second base. He delayed. Throw then went as Evan Ash. He's got to be a hockey player. He's tough. From Canada, takes one in the one on his back. First hit batter of the game. So Evan Cage went on down to second base, or down to third base. Ty Martin on his delay throw goes down to second base on the play. He gets in a rundown. Evan Cage then rounds third base, and now it's a first and third situation play as they played it. And he ends up getting in a rundown, get tug out by the pitcher. Ball's in the dirt, but Lane Spry, aptly named, as he is an energetic young man. I love the way he plays. I've watched him play several games, saw him catch last year, and have not seen anybody else behind the plate for Roane State this year. Line drive by Tui Cope in the left field. Be a base hit with one out. Second hit of the ball game for the Salukis. Getting a bit darker here as
Now batting for Southwest, number 2.
we are expecting rain any minute, really. Anthony Zarlingo steps in. Runners at first and second. He'll do the wheel play and not throw it. That's his one and only disengagement for this batter. Pitchers are allowed only one. Now, he can turn around and throw that ball as many times as he wants, but you can't turn around and not throw it more than once per batter. Just gets out of play, and that will hit into the stands. Does not harm any spectators. Loud bang, though, just to the left of the press box. Oh, 1 pitch down in the dirt. First losers bracket game today. Dyersburg State was defeated by the Pioneers of Volunteer State 9-6. Big blow in that game was in the top of the 9th inning. Jace Mizell, the home run leader for the conference, extended his home run lead to 18 on the year. That's 2 ahead of Daniel Ortiz and 3 ahead of Andy Martine, whose squad, the Eagles of Dyersburg State, are now out of the conference tournament. Of course, Walter State will face Chattanooga State in the game following this one. Square around a bunt, and he lays one down, and that will not be fielded by Ben Scott. That'll be a base hit by Anthony Zarlingo. That will bring a visit from assistant coach Garrett Dalton as he comes out of the Raiders dugout. Bases are now loaded with 1 out, and the conference player of the year, Tyler Harrington, stepping in, leading everybody in the conference and hitting at .439. Second in RBIs with 69. See where he stands on total bases, if I can get that pulled up. Home runs, he is tied for 7th with 11 home runs. He has 30 extra base hits. Jace Mizell, with the home run today, has 36. Is that right? 35 extra base hits, which I believe is tops in the conference.
Now batting for Southwest, number 6, Tyler Harrington.
That website not working very good for me. Bases are loaded. 1 out. Tyler Harrington steps in. Swings at the first pitch, fouls that one off to the right side. Harrington is 2 for 7. Here in conference plays. 2 for 4, scored 3 runs against the Pioneers. Had a double. And also reached on a walk. Went 0 for 3 in the game against Chat State last night. 0-1 pitch from Ben Scott. Misses low and away. Transfer from University of Memphis. Played in 9 games, and he drives one out to right center field. That will get down. Tanner Park will catch it on 1 hop. Second run coming in. That will be overthrown. We'll have 2 runners at second base, and that ball gets thrown into center field as Ben Scott slams his glove down to throw to the plate to try to get the runner not in time. A lot happening on that play. That looked like a Little League play. As Tyler Harrington will get a single, move to second base on the throw, and then to third on the error by pitcher Ben Scott, trying to get two runners caught up at second base. The original throw that came in from, what was that, Tanner Park? I think he hit the cutoff man. So you can go back and look at the replay, as I will do right now.
Next to bat for Southwest, number 34.
See all that happened there as it's getting darker and darker. And Scott delivers a fastball in the dirt. Lane Spry is going to need a moment. Anthony Zarlingo scored. Tui Cope scored. That unloaded the bases. 3 runs, 3-3. As Todd Mullins is now advising the press box as to how many runs there were that scored. Oh, okay. I thought he was. He did point to the visitors' dugout. 3 runs come in on that. That's going to be 2 RBIs for Tyler Harrington. Might be 2 errors on that play. I'm not have to go back and look at it again. Tyler Harrington got a single out to right field. Brady Holloway drives one deep. That will get another run in. Ty Martin makes the catch, and he'll make the throw all the way to Detweiler, but that will be not in time as Brady Holloway gets a sacrifice fly. And it gives the Salukis the 4-3 lead. Now 2 outs.
Next to bat for Southwest, number 0, Bryce Turner.
Bryce Turner steps to the plate, the DH. He singled to right field as the first runner for Southwest Tennessee. Was stranded at first base. Sometimes a little bit hard to see from the press box as to whether it is raining. You have to wait to see if somebody's pulling out umbrellas as Ben Scott gets that breaking pitch over for a called strike. Nobody on, 2 outs now. 4 runs are in for Southwest Tennessee's. Count now goes 2 balls and no strikes to number 0, Bryce Turner from Patriot, Indiana. Fouls that one off to the right side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a ground ball too short. Joshua Sanchez Harris throw pulls Detweiler off the bag. Bryce Turner will reach on an error on the throw from Harris. The inning continues. Scott misses with that offering to R.H. Franklin.
R.H. Franklin.
Franklin popped out to the shortstop. There's a throw over to first base, not in time. Looked like that throw from Sanchez Harris on the relay was an overthrow to the catcher, so that probably will mean an error to Sanchez Harris to allow, maybe not. Tyler Harrington could have gone down to second on the throw, so maybe the only error in that sequence was the overthrow by Ben Scott that allowed Tyler Harrington to get to third base. It might also be the same error that allowed Anthony Zarlingo, and I believe it does. Allows him to score. Popped up, that will get out of play. All that is important when you're figuring out unearned runs. Looks like maybe just 2 earned runs out of those 4. Fastball sails high as a right-hander is warming in the Roane State bullpen. This is outside. Right-hander down the bullpen. Doesn't look like he's warming up in earnest. He might be ready. Full count, Ministries full count. That ball will be fouled off. Our first full count, first pitch foul ball of the game. Bullpen catcher down there doesn't even have a mask on, so maybe Evan Maddox. 3-2 pitch, runner goes and called strike 3. R.H. Franklin does not agree with Todd Mullins on that one. But 4 runs on 3 hits or 2 errors. One was very costly. 1 runner left on base. You're watching the TCCAA Conference Tournament on the VolState Sports Network. Breaking pitch to Detweiler is outside the zone. Hayden Collins still on the mound. Count now 2 balls and no strikes. That one catches the corner. Hayden Collins now pitching with the lead. Line drive out to left field. Anthony Zarlingo goes back, turns, and faces the infield, makes the catch as he's backpedaling away. Nice play. Cannon Lewis steps in. He's singled. Right after Detweiler doubled into left center field. Cannon Lewis hits one deep to right center field. Not as deep as I thought. B.J. Banyan makes a fine running catch. I thought that was going to get a little farther out there, but Banyan playing deep ends up having to come in a little bit as he comes over toward right field. 2 quick outs for Hayden Collins.
Number 25, Parker Henderson.
Third baseman Parker Henderson steps in. He hit a sacrifice fly and drove in the first run. Takes a healthy hack at that one. Hayden Collins pitched 2 innings against VolState a couple days ago. Tapper to third base. Tyler Harrington throws on the run. Sidearm delivery over to first base to retire Parker Henderson. 1-2-3 inning for Hayden Collins. We are moving to the bottom of the 4th. Thanks for joining us on the VolState Sports Network. DJ Qualls and I have finally had a lengthy discussion about the play that occurred. That 3 runners scored on bases loaded, hit by Tyler Harrington. First pitch into B.J. Banyan from Ben Scott, called strike. Banyan flew out to right field in the first. Taps one, falls down in the box. Ben Scott's got plenty of time and throws on to first for the first out. Going to be some loose soil all around the infield as so much conditioner has had to be put down. A little bit of rain got on the infield before the tarp was put on in game 1 between Volunteer State and Dyersburg State. Now Blake Rose steps in. He flew out to Ty Martin. And to begin the third inning, that's the inning that 4 runs were scored. Still haven't figured up the earned runs yet. Have I cut Blake Rowe? One ball, 2 strikes. On the 6 foot, 160 pound switch hitter from Franklin, Tennessee, right south of Nashville. Attended Battleground Academy private school. Just in South Nashville. Blake Rowe hitting .315. Swinging a foul tip into the mid of Lane Spry, and down goes Blake Rowe. That is a second strikeout for Ben Scott, and 2 outs.
Next to bat.
Evan Ash steps to the plate. He was
Evan.
plunked as the umbrellas are being unfurled and opened up now, as apparently some rain is coming down. Line drive into left field, and Evan Ash has a base hit. Brings the top of the order up with 1 on and 2 out. Salukis hitting here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Roane State scored 3 in the top of the 2nd. Big blow there. Tanner Parks'
Now batting for
4th
Southwest.
home run of the
Number
year.
13, Cope.
2-run shot. Then a 4-run burst in the bottom of the 3rd inning for the number 3 seed, Southwest Tennessee Salukis. Dewey Cope 1 for 2. He had a single in the 3rd and ended up scoring the 2nd run. Fouls that one off to the right side. One. That's a line to the left of the 3rd baseman into left field. Another 2-out hit. Dewey Cope is 2 for 3. Likes going to the left side. That is 6 hits now for the Salukis.
Next to bat
Dewey
for
Cope,
Southwest.
batting average of .360 will go up. That is hit number 70 on the season for Dewey Cope. It's a really great year, and he's 14 behind the Conference Player of the Year, Tyler Harrington, who picked up his 84th and conference leading 84th hit. Anthony Zarlingo had a bunt base hit that loaded the bases in front of Tyler Harrington when the play happened. Nice block by Lane Spry. Two balls, no strikes. Breaking pitch catches the outside corner for a called strike. Pitch just a little bit farther out. Appears as though 2 of those runs were earned, 2 are unearned in the 3rd inning by my calculation. Folks don't always agree with my calculation, though, for some reason. Smash into right field. Takes a big hop off the lip. Tanner Park coming in. Strong throw to the plate. Up the line, and Lane Spry had a chance, I thought, to tag out Evan Ash, but he didn't even attempt it. It's like he must have thought he was already by him. He did not even sweep tag, and he caught the ball up the line, as he's not allowed to stand in the line, but
Now batting for Southwest.
that looked
Number
odd.
6,
But an RBI
Harrington.
base hit by Anthony Sarlingo gives the Salukis a 5-1 lead, 5-3 lead. Runners now at the corners. Runner at first goes. Throw back to the pitcher, and Tui Cope nonplussed about that play. He just meanders back to third base. So a stolen base for Anthony Zarlingo. Runners now at second and third. Tyler Harrington fouls that one off. He's 1 for 2. So 2 outs. The first 2 batters that come to the plate, and then Evan Ash with a base hit in the left field. Tui Cope with a base hit in the left field. Anthony Zarlingo with a ground ball that gets through on the right side. Tanner Park with a really good throw, just a little bit up the third base line. That ball's lifted out to right field. Could be playable for Tanner Park. Long run, and he will make the catch in foul territory for out number 3. Nice play by Tanner Park. But the Salukis push 1 across with 2 outs. Lead now 5-3. Thanks for watching the VolState Sports Network. State find themselves down by 2 now. As 8, 9, and 1 come to the plate. Tanner Parker hit a 2-run home run in the second. Leads off, and he swings and fouls one straight back. Hop on that chat and let us know where you're watching from, who you're rooting for on this second game of day 3. We had 2 days of play-in games. It's supposed to be 1 day on Sunday, but second game on Sunday had to wait till Monday to be completed, and it was the only action on Monday. High pop-up. Not sure if that'll be playable. Evan Ash will get over, and it doesn't look pretty, but it accomplishes the task. And our producer, Reagan Smith, able to at least get to the wide angle, and that is on the view, just barely inside of our view that we have from the home plate camera. Drive by Lane Spry on the first pitch he sees. In for a base hit. He's 1 for 2. I've broadcasted 45 games probably this year for the Pioneers. Bet we haven't seen 2 pop-ups to catchers. Probably seen 5 in the last 2 days here at the conference tournament. Joshua Sanchez Harris tried to hold up on that one. Ball just nicked his bat for a foul ball. Leadoff batter is 1 for 2. Reached leading off the third on a single, but was then caught stealing. Had a delayed steal, and Evan Ash threw a seed down to second base, and Harris was gunned down. 2 runners have been gunned down, one at second. Conventionally, and the other one at the plate. Evan Cage was. So he tried to score on a pass ball. Evan Ash able to throw to Hayden Collins to get the out. Another one is high and tight. Hayden Collins looked like he has the mantra that I'm just going to throw as hard as I can, as long as I can, and see how far we get. And he's in the 5th inning. Breaking pitch misses down and away, and Sanchez Harris will reach for his 2nd time today in 3 at-bats. 2nd walk of the ball game by Hayden Collins. Sandy Elgood watching from VII, Indiana. Thanks for joining us. As Dion Felger gets out of the Salukis dugout to say Dion Felger. That would be the pitching coach for, I believe, Dyersburg State. I think this is Elliott Bush for Southwest Tennessee. It's not Eric Schoenrock, the head coach. So 2 are on with 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. An elimination game. The winner will move on to play Volunteer State later tonight, weather permitting, and the loser will be eliminated from further play in junior college baseball this year. Will not have a chance to move on to the district championship against the Georgia winner. And that pitch comes in, hits Sam Abshire in the hand. Todd Mullins is going to say that's a foul ball, but Sam Abshire's got a right wrist bruise probably that he's not going to take his batting glove off. Cam Hamsley comes down, says, hey, there's nothing we can say about it. So it's an 0-1 count. Abshire steps in, doesn't take any time to really flex that hand, so maybe he wasn't hit. Does not look real happy right now, though, as he's struck out twice. Maybe he stepped in there thinking, I want to hit anyway. Hole on the right side. Breaking pitch misses down. Stairs count now, 2 balls and a strike. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Looks like the precipitation might have eased up just a bit, but I still see a few umbrellas out here at the Tim Garrett Baseball Complex, Pioneer Field. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Abshire sees that pitch break into the dirt, and we'll have a full count. Ministries full count. On deck, Evan Cage. Abshire 1 for 4 against Columbia State. Swings and misses. That was a late swing. Not really sure what was happening there, but may have thought that was going to dive out of the strike zone.
Next to bat for the Raiders, number 12, Evan Cage.
Evan Cage 3 for 10 coming into today's game. Oh for 1 and a walk as he sees the first pitch in there for a strike. That one just misses. 4 strikeouts for Hayden Collins, and Sam Abshire has been 3 of them. Got the hat trick on Abshire. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish. That ball is lifted out of play into the parking lot. Just ask Jace Mizell, who was 0 for 4 when he came to the plate in the top of the 9th inning. 2 runners on and facing the top relief man in the conference. He drives the ball out of the park in left center field. A 1-out, 3-run home run for Jace Mizell. Ends up being the winner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 out, 2 on as that ball is tapped to the on-deck circle. Ty Martin hoping to get an at-bat here in the top of the 5th inning. 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for Roane State. 5-7-0 as that ball just goes foul down the first baseline. That would have been trouble and probably would have scored 2 runs. Tied this ball game up. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Salukis. Janicia Ellis watching from Charleston, South Carolina, rooting for Roane State as that ball's fouled at the plate. Joanne Robb rooting for the Salukis. Watching down in Texas, Jody Zimmerly on a conference call here in Hendersonville. Probably got the volume down. Not going to hear this shout out, Jody, an alumnus or alumni from VolState. Pitcher, his son Zach Zimmerly on the Pioneer squad. Taking a red shirt this year. He'll be back for the Pioneers, an infielder and an outfielder. Tapper up the middle, and this should be easy for Blake Rowe. It's not as easy, but he throws a bullet to Brady Holloway to get Evan Cage, who was hustling down the line. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, 2 runners left on base. Heading to the bottom of the 5th, 5-3, the Salukis lead. the Raiders. Evan Maddox comes out of the bullpen, a transfer from South Georgia State. 6'3", 210-pound sophomore right-hander from Dallas, Georgia, on in relief of Ben Scott, who goes 4 innings, gives up 5 runs on 7 hits. First pitch to Brady Holloway outside the zone. Two wide ones to begin the inning. Three earned runs of the 5 given up by Ben Scott. Evan Maddox now gone 3 balls and no strikes. Ben Scott did not walk a batter. There's a 3-0 pitch in there for a called strike. Struck out 2, and he is the pitcher of record as we stand right now. Evan Maddox has walked the first batter that he's facing. Brady Holloway now 0 for 1. He's got a sacrifice fly and now a walk. Brings to the plate DH Bryce Turner.
Now batting for Southwest, number 0, Bryce Turner.
Walter State and Chattanooga State already played in softball this morning. I believe Walter State won that game 3-1. I'm trying to get to the end of the game on the VolState Sports Network on the YouTube channel. And they did, in fact, win 3-1, the number 1 team. Throw over to first base, and that is wild. But Detweiler able to get off first base to catch that parachute that was thrown over. Not sure what happened there. He was not committed to that pickoff attempt. No question about that. Walter State Lady Senators, number 1 seed, playing the number 2 seeded Lady Tigers at Chattanooga State. Just as in softball, baseball, the same thing. Same 2 colleges playing each other. 1-2 pitch popped up out to center field. Ty Martin on the run. He looks like he hasn't measured him at the catch for out number 1. And following this game, the number 1 Walter State Senators will play the number 2 Chattanooga State Tigers to see who moves on to the winner's bracket game or the championship game. And the loser will get into the loser's bracket. Lady Pioneers are currently taking on the Lady Eagles of Dyersburg State as R.H. Franklin rolls his head. Can't believe that pitch is called a strike. 1 on, 1 out here as Southwest batting in the bottom of the 5th inning. Swing and a miss. So the winner of the VolState Lady Pioneers and the Lady Eagles game that's going on right now will play the Chattanooga State Lady Tigers following the game. There's a called strike 3 on R.H. Franklin. He goes down looking. First strikeout for Evan Maddox.
Now batting for Southwest, number 20, BJ Banyan.
I believe there's no score in that softball game. Foul ball. BJ Banyan steps in with no hits and 2 plate appearances so far in this game. Drive out to left center field. Well hit ball. Ty Martin is back, and he will make the catch on the warning track right in front of the Dudette Communications outfield sign for out number 3. Leadoff walk does not come back to haunt Evan Maddox. We're heading to the 6th, 5-3. Salukis lead in this elimination game. Semi-concrete call to the bullpen for the Salukis. Wesley Cully on in relief of Hayden Collins. Goes 5 innings. Gives up 6 hits, 3 runs. They were earned. Cully comes in a 5-3 ball game, facing 4, 5, and 6 here in the 6th inning. Martin 1 for 2. Left-hander Ty Martin, left-hander Detweiler to face left-handed pitcher Wesley Cully. Transfer from Freed-Hardman from Millington, Tennessee, Arlington High School. Now 3 balls and a strike to Ty Martin. Ty Martin will get on with a leadoff walk. Roane State hoping to make more of their leadoff walk than Southwest Tennessee did in the bottom of the 5th.
Now batting for the Raiders, number 31, Detweiler.
2 walks, 4 strikeouts for Hayden Collins. Had a good start, except for 1 inning. That's the 2nd inning where Roane State scored 3 runs. First pitch in there for a called strike to Detweiler. He doubled in the 2nd. Lined out to left field in the 4th. Gone opposite way both times. As B.J. Banyan will shade Detweiler just a little bit to the left of center. Detweiler rolled his head on that one. Umbrella's still out here at Pioneer Field, the campus of Volunteer State Community College. Breaking pitch drilled out to center field. Back goes Banyan. He is into left center field before he gets to the track. He hauls that one in for out number 1. Detweiler put a charge in it, but a little too much air under it as B.J. Banyan able to get to it. Out number 1, Cannon Lewis steps to the plate.
Next at bat, number 34, Cannon Lewis.
Wesley Cully a year ago had 18 appearances for Freed-Hardman, 6 starts. 3-2 record and also had a save. 50 innings pitched, 45 strikeouts, a 6.12 ERA. That's a year ago. First pitch to Cannon Lewis misses. There's a pitch catches the inside corner. This year, 53 innings pitched, 58 hits in his 15 appearances. This is appearance number 16 of the year. One pitch. Pulled the string on Cannon Lewis. Team leading 16th appearance for Wesley Cully, who has one save, a 4-5 record, has one complete game, so he's run the gamut. 9 starts. This is his 7th appearance in relief. Cannon Lewis goes down and gets that one and drives it down the left field line. Cam Hamsley will hold the runner at third base. Cannon Lewis with a 1-out double to put runners at second and third. Cannon Lewis now 2 for 3. The Beach High School product from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Actually shows his hometown is Goodlettsville, right next door. Goodlettsville, White House, Hendersonville, Gallatin. Parker Henderson, who's from right here. No, he's not. He's from, it's Tanner Park who's from here. And Ty Martin. Parker Henderson's from right here in Lexington, Kentucky. Strike called to the 6'2", 205-pound infielder. 7th hit matching the Salukis. Both teams now with 7 hits on the game. Tying run out on second base. A big cut by Parker Henderson, looking for home run number 2 on the year. Big fellow. Pretty surprised he doesn't have more than that. Oh, 2 pitch coming. Popped up out of play. Parker Henderson has 5 hits in the 3 games he's played here in the tournament so far, 5 for 11. All singles. Looking to find a gap here in the top of the 6th inning. Will not on that pitch. It must have been a change up there. That died when he got to the plate. Joe West, we do have some bad weather coming here in Gallatin. It's raining right now, not too hard, but swing and a miss on another changeup. Henderson goes down on strikes. 2 outs. Runners at second and third for Tanner Park, who's got a 2-run home run in this ball game already.
Next to bat for the Raiders, number 23, Tanner Park.
Hayden Collins went the first 5 innings, gave up 3 runs. Tanner Park fouls that one off of one of his legs. Typically it's the front leg, and that's what it looks like it is inside of that left knee as he grabs a hold of that one. That sting doesn't typically last, more than a day. Tanner Park, big kid, 6'1", 200 pounds. Probably play some football over here at Gallatin. If this rain is going to set in and it's going to bring a bunch of rain, then all-world athletic trainer here at VolState, Justin McKinney, will come in and let the umpires know. That's what you want right after you foul one off the inside of your left leg, is for a pitcher to bury one right there at your shins, which is exactly what Wes Cully did. Or Wesley Cully. Probably his mom calls him Wesley and his friends call him Wes. Ground ball to short. This should end the inning. Nice pick by Blake Rowe. And he throws Tanner Park out at first base. No runs. One hit. There was 2 runners left on base. Heading to the bottom of the 6th. 5-3 lead for the Salukis. If you only knew some of the conversations that went on here outside the broadcast, you'd be rolling on the floor. Wouldn't they be ROLF? Reagan Smith says, yep. What are you, Reagan, 21 years old, 21 years old? 1/3 the age of this broadcaster. None of my kids are as young as you. But I don't have any grandkids your age either, though. That'd be early. Blake Rowe, leadoff batter here, facing Evan Maddox. It's been Evan Maddox on the bump and Evan Cage in left field and Evan Ash on deck. That ball gets away from Lane Spry, not an Evan. Rowe swinging it from the left side at switch hitter. Pops that one up, and guess what, folks? We're going to have another pop up to the catcher. I have to go back and look at my scorebooks and see how many. I believe we've set the record for at least 2023 on how many pop-ups that catchers have caught. We had a pop out to the pitcher in yesterday's VolState game.
Number 19, Evan Ash.
That was a high fastball that Blake Rowe just could not lay off. Now, Evan is throwing to Evan. If only Evan was catching, and Evan will take that one in the left arm. Second time he's been plunked. Just what you want as a catcher, to be hit by a pitched ball while you're batting. You hit enough times by pitched balls when you're catching. First plunking by Evan Maddox, though. So now that's one for each of the right-handers that have towed the rubber for the Roane State Raiders.
Number 13, Tui Cope.
Jen Ash. Just want to let you know, up there in Toronto, Evan appears to be fine after being hit with that breaking pitch. Tui Cope, 2 for 3, steps in there, fouls the first pitch off like he's not paying for baseballs. I don't know how much a baseball costs up there in Canada, but apparently pretty expensive down here, depending on who's buying them. Nearly hits Tui Cope. DJ Qualls here, our PA slash scoreboard slash musician. When he buys a baseball, he pays $12 for a baseball. You can't hide money when you're paying $12 for an $8 baseball. He's just a big tipper. He goes to Jersey Mike's and buys the best sub around and drops a $5 tip in the bucket every time he goes in there. Tui Cope, 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's 1 out, and Evan Ash is down at first base after being hit by a pitch. 4-run 3rd inning. 2 of those runs unearned. And a 1-run 4th. Even Salukis 5 runs as Tui Cope is rung up on that breaking pitch. Trying to see how many baseballs actually outside
Next to bat for Southwest.
of the plate
Number
that
2,
was.
Anthony Zarlingo.
It was on that white line in the right-handed batter's box, so maybe not quite as far out as I thought, but second strikeout for Maddox. Anthony Zarlingo looks at a called strike. Zarlingo's also 2 for 3 at a bunt single in the 3rd and a RBI single in the 4th. Drove in Evan Ash, who's on first base ahead of him, and he'll drop one into left field, but that will get into the glove of Evan Cage, as we had all of the Evans participate in the bottom of the 6th inning. 5-3, Southwest Tennessee. Lane Spry, Joshua Sanchez Harris, and Sam Abshire scheduled for Roane State here in the top of the 7th. They have 3 more cracks at the Salukis. There's a good start for the Raiders as Lane Spry with his second first pitch base hit in the left field. Lane Spry has struggled at the plate this year, but he's been behind it all year long. He is playing now in game number 47 of the year. And it is game 57. So he's played in all but 10 games. I'll do the math for you. That is his 25th hit of the year. Sanchez Harris starts to either lay down a sack bunt or a drag bunt, and that pitch nearly hit him in the shins. Called a strike. Wesley Cully. There's strike 2. A lot better looking pitch there. So if Sanchez Harris was thinking about laying down a bunt, that would have been a pretty good pitch to do it on. A little slight drizzle still as umbrellas, get it out, are still out as Harris late on that one, and thanks to line for the screens in front of the dugouts. Otherwise, that could have been a shin burger on somebody standing at the Roane State fence in the dugout. Ground ball up the middle, and that will be fielded by Blake Rowe. And the turn by Tui Cope to Holloway gets Harris on a do-dat double play. Just what the doctor ordered for Wesley Cully, the old 6-4-3. Thanks to Do-Dat Communications for their support of VolState athletics. If you need that, they can do that. DODATT.com. Blake Rowe fielded that ball behind second base, had to toss it back. Tui Cope had to basically turn, what would that be, 180, 270 degrees as he's facing center field. Sam Abshire swings and misses. He had to turn completely around to throw that ball to first base. Not completely, but he didn't do a pirouette. Sam Abshire down in the count. 2 balls and a strike. I thought he had 2 strikes on him. 3 balls and a strike. Every time you look up, Sam Abshire's had 2 strikes. Struck out. Swinging in the first, looking in the third, and swinging in the 5th. And this time he gets a walk with 2 outs. Wesley Cully's second walk. And the 4th walk of the day for Raiders batters. That brings it to plate Evan Cage, the left fielder. He's 0 for 2 with 1 of those walks. Cully's got him picked off. Abshire takes off on the first move. The ball is dropped. Errant throw there. I'm not sure if you can assume the throw there. Clearly was an errant throw. Honestly, I don't know that scorekeeping. I know there's some that you can't assume, like on a double play, but probably you can assume when it's not a double play. So I think that would be an error, but not really sure. It's either an error or a stolen base for Sam Abshire. I'd have to check with one of my scorekeeping buddies. Otherwise, or either way, Sam Abshire standing at second base, and the inning continues here in the top of the 7th. Evan Cage now with an 0-2 count. Cage is the number 3 hitter in the lineup, does not have a home run. Roane State only has 16 on the year, scattered among about 8 or 9 players. Leading home run hitter is now Tanner Park with his 4th of the year. That ball is tapped back to pitcher Wesley Cully. He throws high fastball to Holloway for out number 3. See if we can do some research to find out about that error. But right now, no runs on 1 hit and 1 runner left on base. Headed to the bottom of the 7th. Thanks for watching the VolState Sports Network. Harrington steps in
Hitting off the bottom of the
to face Evan Maddox.
number 6, Tyler Harrington.
First time he's led off in this ball game. Drills that one, gets his second knock of the game. That will get all the way to the fence. Evan Cage, little trouble putting his hands on that, but Conference Player of the Year Tyler Harrington is now 2 for 4. That's about his average. Just a tick below that at 443. Nope, 439. So he's probably now up to about 441 on a 2 for 4 day. It's tough when you got to keep getting a hit every other at bat to keep up with a batting average. Tyler Harrington's 16th double of the year. Brady Holloway looking for his first knock of this contest. An elimination game. Tight one here between the number 3 seed Salukis and the number 9 seed out of 10 Roane State Raiders. We have played tough in this tournament. Had to win a play-in game over Cleveland State. They may have been the number 8 seed, but a pretty wide difference, 8-win difference between those two squads. Roane State actually was tied with Jackson State at a 3-23 record, but by virtue of winning the last game of the year against Jackson State, they won the tiebreaker as they defeated Jackson State 2 out of 3. That ball is lifted high into left field. Brady Holloway disgusted. Evan Cage makes the catch for out number 1. Brady Holloway now 0 for 2, sacrifice fly and a walk. Cleveland State had 8 more wins in the conference. They lose to Roane State 10-7. Roane State then gets mercy ruled by the number 1 team in the country, Walters State, 11-1 on a walk-off in the 6th inning. Walk-off base hit by Corbin Shaw. Then Roane State played Columbia State yesterday, and they defeated the Chargers. That pitch is popped up out of play. Roane State won that game 6-2. And now face Southwest Tennessee in a do or die. That ball's drilled to deep left field. Back goes Evan Cage, and this one's not coming back. That's a 2-run home run for second team all-conference DH Bryce Turner to give the Salukis an insurance run or 2. Tyler Harrington was running on the pitch after he got almost to third base, and he saw that rocket off the bat of Bryce Turner. He able to slow up. Salukis now have a 7-3 lead.
R.H. Franklin.
R.H. Franklin steps to the plate. That is Bryce Turner's 4th home run of the year in RBIs, 31 and 32. Bryce Turner looking to get in on the action. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Bryce Turner 2 for 4. He singled in the 2nd. The magic may be running out for the Roane State Raiders. Lane Spry will go out and chat with the tall right-hander as action continues in the Roane State bullpen. A 1-out, 2-run home run by Bryce Turner. As a left-hander warms up. It looks like sophomore Dustin Palmer from White House Tennessee, White House High School, who pitched the other day. And see, was that against Walters? Through an inning and 2/3, gave up 1 hit, 1 unearned run, and 1 strikeout as Franklin fouls that one back. He looked good, too. Saw on Twitter that he is uncommitted, so I would assume he's probably got an offer or two now after that performance against Walter State. All right, Franklin now on a full count, Ministries full count. Rain has subsided here briefly. 3-2 pitch is outside. A double to lead off for Tyler Harrington, and a fly out to left field. Bryce Turner stepped in and hit his 4th home run of the year. And out of the dugout comes head coach Cam Hamsley, so it looks like we'll have a pitching change. We'll take a break. Tell you about the new pitcher when we return on the VolState Sports Network. Summit Concrete called the bullpen for Roane State. Dustin Palmer, sophomore left-hander, out of the Summit Concrete bullpen for his 14th appearance of the year, 10th in relief, 1-4 record, 17 innings pitched, 15 hits, 24 runs, 22 earned, 26 walks, 23 strikeouts. This had pitched an inning and a third against Walter State and gave up 1 unearned run. He comes on with 1 out and 1 on. First pitch swinging, B.J. Banyan fouls that one off. Evan Maddox goes 2 1/3 innings, gives up 2 hits, so far 2 runs, and they were earned. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, a home run, and a hit batter. Throw over to first base, sidearm from the young man from White House, Tennessee. 5'10", 170 pounds. B.J. Banyan 0 for 3. Drives one down the left field line. That will get out of play and across the road. A young man out. Let's see, as he returned 1 foul ball. He is on the hop. Going to be looking for that next one. Southwest Tennessee opened up a lead here. That ball's lined out to right field. Tanner Parks slides and ends up missing that. Taking my eyes off of it, thinking that he was right underneath it. I was curious as to why the runner was that far off.
Next to bat for Southwest, number 4
of
Blake
the
Rowe.
base. Runner goes from second, throw down to third base is not in time, and that's the first stolen base that I've seen off of Lane Spry as a catcher here in the tournament. I think that's going to end up being a base hit by B.J. Banyan is how I would show it. I'm not the official scorebook, but definitely a stolen base by R.H. Franklin. B.J. Banyan stays at first base. We'll have first and third situation brought to you by Line to Line. B.J. Banyan totally confused on that move to the plate by Dustin Palmer. He was heading back to first base. 2 runs in the inning, and now runners at first and third. There's a throw over to first base. A little bit wild. Detweiler's got to come off the base. One out, 2 on, 2 in already. The 2-run home run by Bryce Turner, a rocket. Fake throw down to second base. Lane Spry holds on to that one. B.J. Banyan picks up a stolen base. Runners now at second and third. Blake Rowe at the plate. 0 for 3. Popped out to the catcher in foul territory in the 6th inning. Ball 4 now loads the bases. You know what? Blake Rowe was swinging from the left side there. He's a switch hitter. I thought. Maybe not. No, he's not. Shows he's a left-handed batter. Anthony Zarlingo is a switch hitter.
19, Evan Ash.
Connor Brinkley. That's the other shortstop. Blake Rowe is hitting for or playing shortstop. Connor Brinkley played short in the first 2. Breaking pitch, yeah, gets the outside corner on Evan Ash. Palmer misses with that one as he is working quickly. From the windup, corners are in. Fastball inside corner. Evan Ash sees that when he's squatted down behind the plate. Not quite as thrilled with the call as he's standing with a bat in his hand. Breaking pitch will catch that outside corner, and Evan Ash will go down on strikes. Big strikeout for Dustin Palmer and the Roane State Raiders. It's his first strikeout. Second out of the inning with bases loaded.
Next to bat for Southwest.
Tui Cope steps to the plate, the 8th batter to
Cope.
hit for the Salukis here in the 5th inning. Evan Maddox started the inning, gave up a double, had a fly out, and then a 2-run home run, and then a walk as that pitch sails over the head of Tui Cope. From Overton High School, John T. Overton High School. There's a John A. Logan Community College up in Illinois. And that'll confuse you if you're trying to think of John T. Overton. Same high school that produced Mookie Betts. 2-0 pitch. Fastball misses out. Dustin Palmer trying to light up the radar gun. But I don't see any radar guns out right now. As the Chattanooga State Tigers have shown up over on the visitors' side, behind the visitors' dugout. 3-0 pitch. Misses low and away, and Tui Cope will get an easy RBI, his first of the game, on a second walk of the inning by Dustin Palmer, and the lead now goes to 8-3.
Now batting for Southwest, number 2.
Anthony Zarlingo will complete the cycle of all batters stepping out. But before that, Cam Hamsley, the head coach in his 4th year at Roane State, will walk out and probably get the ball from Dustin Palmer, which will end his career more than likely at Roane State. We'll take a break, tell you about the new pitcher when we return on the VolState Sports Network. Tim Reese and Reagan Smith back at Pioneer Field on the campus of Volunteer State Community College. We are in the bottom of the 7th inning, game number 10, an elimination game as Connor Holmes comes out of the Summit Concrete bullpen and taps one slowly to second base. Underhand by Sam Abshire. So 1 pitch, 1 out by Connor Holmes. Finishes the book on Dustin Palmer. Ground out by Anthony Zarlingo, 4-3 as the Salukis bat around in the 7th. They score 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors. 3 runners left on base. We're through 7, 8-3. Southwest Tennessee leads. Ty Martin steps in for the Roane State Raiders. Hoping it's not his last at-bat, he flares one to left field. Anthony Zarlingo handles Ty Martin. One left-handed outfielder to another. Ty Martin will fly out to left field, possibly his last at-bat as a Roane State Raider. Wesley Cully still on the mound. This is his third inning. He will face Detweiler, another left-handed hitter for Roane State. They have 3 lefties in a row. They're 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Some action in the Salukis bullpen. There's a strike called. 2 balls and 1 strike. And that's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Detweiler 1 for 3. Double, line out, and a fly out. And he swings, and that ball gets away from Evan Ash. Detweiler is going to reach first base on the pass ball. Something unusual happened there. Is there a chance that Detweiler's bat came back and caught Evan Ash? If it is, if that happened, he's not
Next to bat for the Raiders,
complaining about it.
34, Cannon Lewis.
It'll be a strikeout and then a passed ball. So the second strikeout by Wesley Cully. But Detweiler reaches on the pass ball. Cannon Lewis takes a home run cut, comes up empty. He's 2 for 3, a single and a double. Roane State needs 5 in the next 2 innings if they can keep the Salukis to 8 or their season's over. Winner of this game will play Volunteer State in another elimination game at the end of today, weather permitting. It just misses outside. On deck, Parker Henderson, if there's not a do-dat double play. Fouled straight back. Right at you. Thank you, Jamie, for the kind comments. I assume Lane is somebody near and dear to your heart, and I'll just tell you, I've enjoyed watching him play. Hard-nosed catcher. Not the biggest young man out there, but sure has a lot of fight in him, and I wish him well in his continued academic and athletic career. Thank you to all the folks that have joined us on the chat as we have a Full Count Ministries full count. 1 out. Drilled down the third base line, but yes, you guessed it. It is a foul ball. We're 2 for 3 in this game on full count first pitch foul balls. I don't know all there is to know about a good bit of these players, but it's the second year that I've broadcasted in the Tennessee Junior College League. I've seen some of these guys in the Ohio Valley League as Cannon Lewis goes down on strikes. My memory's not what it used to be, but I remember enough to sometimes get me in trouble.
Henderson.
The second strikeout of the inning for Wesley Cully, but he should be out of the inning. But Parker Henderson gets another at-bat here in the top of the 8th inning. He fouls one off of his leg again. That's the second one that he's gotten. Or was that Tanner Park? These two guys look very similar. Tall, good-looking players. Pretty sure that Parker Henderson's probably got a few inches on Tanner Park. Says he's 6'2" and Tanner Park 6'1", but maybe he's just a little bit thicker, but he looks a couple inches taller, as one's in the batter's box and one's in the on-deck circle, and he'll come to the plate. Parker Henderson shoots a single in the left field with 2 outs. It's his first hit of the game. Parker Henderson extends his hitting streak to 4 games. Evan Cage does not have a hit in the ball game. His hitting streak is currently at 9. He's hoping for another at bat for a couple reasons, and there's a line drive caught by Anthony Zarlingo out in left field. Tanner Park drills that one, but stays up long enough for Zarlingo to get to it, and the Raiders are retired in the 8th, heading to the bottom of the 8th inning, 8-3. For the second straight inning, Tyler Harrington will lead off for the Salukis.
Leading off the bottom of the 8th for Southwest.
He doubled into left center field, later scored on a 2-run home run by Bryce Turner that got that inning going. They only scored 1 more run, though, but had the bases loaded and threatened till Connor Holmes got into the game. Number 18 out on the mound, the right-hander from Cookeville, Tennessee, Cookeville High School. Breaking pitch misses inside. 5'10", 170-pound redshirt freshman Connor Holmes, the 4th pitcher for Roane State, as Tyler Harrington just nonchalantly catches that ball that pops up off the mid of Lane Spry. Dustin Palmer goes 1/3 of an inning, gives up 1 hit, 2 walks, and a strikeout, but Connor Holmes shuts the door and no runs scored. That's a deep fly ball, folks. That's not going to come back. That is above the light tower there and into the grass for a home run. Tyler Harrington hits number 12 of the year. 3 more RBIs, not on that home run, but 3 RBIs put him at 72, the TCCAA Conference Player of the Year. Transfer from University of Memphis. He's from Lakeland, Tennessee, went to Briarcrest Christian.
Number 34.
1 for 11 a year ago at Memphis in 9 games. I believe that was a double. He's had a few more extra base hits and overall hits this year. Gives The Salukis a 9-3 lead. Connor Holmes gives up the gopher ball. Connor, you're not the only one this year's been victimized by Tyler Harrington. That was a no-doubter. Swung and a miss on a slow breaking pitch by Brady Holloway. Looking for his first hit. Ground ball to second. Abshire has it roll up his arm, and he will not be able to get Brady Holloway, who will reach on the air. Has a current 12-game hitting streak, and that is in danger, going by the wayside.
Next to bat for Southwest, number 0, Bryce Turner.
It's the third error of the ball game for the Raiders. Bryce Turner hit his 4th home run in his last at-bat. Not of the game, but of the season. So 1 on, nobody out. Nice stop by Lane Spry, and a 6-run deficit here. That man is still working hard. You never know who's watching, Lane Spry. Never know. God might use any scenario at any time to get his will accomplished, as we got apparently a problem with that bat that Bryce Turner got. Tyler Harrington comes out of the dugout as though maybe that's his weapon of choice. Apparently the knob might be coming off. Maybe the home plate umpire said, nope, you gotta discard that one. We're not going to use that one anymore. He's got a different stick in his hand in a 3-0 count. Take a 4-pitch walk, Bryce Turner, in the 4th batter that Connor Holmes has faced. Looks like that'll be the last batter. Cam Hamsley out of the dugout. We'll take a break. Come right back on the VolState Sports Network. Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for the Raiders. The fourth such call, the fifth pitcher for Roane State. Number 27, 6 foot, 195-pound redshirt freshman Brett Shirley from Mount Juliet, Tennessee, just east of Nashville. Attended Mount Juliet High School. He is on in relief of Connor Holmes. Shirley on for the 8th appearance of the year. 8.16 ERA. 14 innings of work, 16 hits, 14 runs, 13 earned. Walked 9, struck out 10. According to the stats, it says he's faced batters that are hitting .296 off of him. The first pitch he delivers to R.H. Franklin is fouled off to the left side. Comes in with no outs and 2 runners on in relief of Connor Holmes, who at 1/3 of an inning gave up 1 hit, 1 walk. That 1 hit was a home run, and 2 runners on base are his responsibility, even though one of them reached on an error. Holmes came on in the 7th with 2 outs and bases loaded and retired the only batter he faced in the 7th, but ran into trouble here in the 8th as Brett Shirley, throwing hard, misses inside. R.H. Franklin 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a walk and a run scored. Has a stolen base on the day. He's got a line drive to center field. That will get down in front of Martin. Runner at second. Brady Holloway had to pause to see if Ty Martin was going to come in and make that catch. So he is held up at third base.
Number 7, C.J. Thomas.
Home run here will send us away as pinch hitting is C.J. Thomas from Bartlett, Tennessee. He went to MUS, Memphis University School. Nice block by Lane Spry, the hardest man on the field whenever he shows up. C.J. Thomas sends one over the fence in fair territory. It'll be his first long ball of the year. No home runs, 16 RBIs. Hitting .236. Playing in game number 37, he has 17 hits and 72 at-bats. 6 of those 17 hits are doubles. B.J. Banyan finishes 1 for 4. Healthy cut there by C.J. and comes up empty. So B.J. Banyan gives away to C.J. Thomas. Mercy rules in effect, and a swing and a foul tip, and that ball apparently got into the glove of Lane Spry for out number 2. Sorry, out number 1. And out of the dugout comes Cam Hamsley. Is looks like might be running a rotation. Give some pitchers a little love here, maybe. And we have another call to the bullpen. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we return on the VolState Sports Network. So Concrete call to the bullpen for the Raiders. Graham Parrish, a sophomore out of Nashville, Tennessee, 6 foot, 195-pound right-hander. Attended Good Pasture Christian School, one of the top high schools in all kinds of athletics in the state of Tennessee, a private Christian school from the Church of Christ Christian Persuasion. And he will face Blake Rowe with the bases loaded and 1 out. Swinging a foul ball straight back as Graham Parrish delivers a fastball in there. He is the nephew of Lipscomb head coach here in Nashville, Jeff Forehand. Mother Lee Mundy is right off to the right side as Graham misses with that offering. Young man attends the same church that I do and was part of a discipleship group that I was part of, and young man that I've rooted for several years. He has struggled with injuries throughout his college playing days. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He gets a ground ball to first base. Detweiler chooses to go to second base, and that ball is not handled by Sanchez Harris. 2 runs will score on that fielder's choice, and that will. Is that an 8-run? I think. Are we at an 8-run? That is exactly what it is. I'm sitting up here looking as to what's happening. I was thinking it was 10 runs, but it's an 8-run mercy rule after 8, I guess. So the ball game will be over on a walk-off fielder's choice. And that is unfortunate for Graham Parrish to be on the mound when that happens. He got exactly what he wanted, was a ground ball. And I don't know why in the world Detweiler didn't come to the plate with that ground ball, but he chose not to, and the final score will be 11-3. As 3 runs will come in to score here in the bottom of the 8th inning. So Southwest Tennessee will move on and have a rematch of game number 3 here in the tournament between Southwest Tennessee and Volunteer State. That will follow the Walter State Chat State game that'll be coming up probably in about 40 minutes. We will sign off for now and regroup and get the correct paperwork ready for the Walter State Chat State winners bracket ball game coming up following this game, which saw Southwest Tennessee defeat Roane State 11-3 in Mercy Rule. Thanks for joining us on the VolState Sports Network.